Almost 2 years ago, I made a video talking about 6 ways people have either been banned or kicked off of a cruise ship. It is my most viewed video to this day. In the 2 years since, more skullduggery and shenanigans have occurred upon the high seas. So, why don't we look back and reflect at 8 more ways people have been kicked off of a cruise ship and banned from cruising. Starting off, the Carnival Jubilee had her maiden voyage in late December of 2023, and it took only 8 days for the ship to make headlines again. A cruise passenger was filmed climbing on top of a little jet out while communicating with someone in a nearby balcony. Carnival Cruise Line personnel were able to determine the passenger who did this, they got in contact, and banned them from Carnival ships. In mid-2024, a TikTok user made a video on an unknown Carnival ship showing how to take advantage of Carnival's bottled water in the stateroom. To explain, sometimes cruise lines will supply bottled water in a cabin and charge the passenger if they use it. This TikToker made a video of her filling an empty bottle with tap water and gluing on the cap to make it look like the bottle wasn't tampered with, and therefore she wouldn't get charged. People saw this, alerted Carnival, who then identified the passenger and then banned her for life. Now, the TikTok user did say that she did the video as a joke and wouldn't actually leave glued water bottles out for people to drink, but nevertheless, she was banned. Additionally, in the same post where Carnival brand ambassador John Heald announced the ban for Water Bottle Gate, he also announced a ban for another passenger. In this case, a passenger wrote on social media about how they bribed the cabin stewards to bring them an ashtray. The self-report strikes again. Now our next reason for a passenger being banned: complaining. The Villa V Odyssey planned to have a 3.5-year-long cruise around the world, but there were many issues surrounding the voyage before it even began. There's no way around it. Getting Villa V Odyssey prepared for service was a disaster. There was so much going on with that ship that it could be its own video, but the gist, according to the New York Post, is that it was delayed multiple times, had its departure port changed, had to get recertified, and the itinerary was changed. This passenger that ended up getting banned was alerted that she would need to start the cruise in a different stateroom than she had booked because the crew was still using the one that she wanted. So, she vented into a group chat. After some time, she was notified by Villa V that her reservation was cancelled for, as they said, behavior impacting community morale. Villa V stated that she breached her cruise contract. Thankfully, the cruise line has started to refund her, but there is currently an ongoing lawsuit between the two parties. There was another passenger who also had her reservation canceled for so-called negative comments, but she was eventually able to join the cruise in December 2024. Both passengers have said they never complained publicly about the situation, only in the group chat. Hopefully, everything gets sorted out. This next instance of passengers being banned is also for speaking negatively, but contrary to the Villa V Odyssey passenger ban, it involves 2 influencers who publicly spoke negatively about Carnival. The pair of influencers founded Sail Away magazine and had posted on social media some nasty biological stuff they found in their stateroom on board Carnival Miracle. They did, however, praise Carnival for handling the situation well. They had also made some negative comments about Carnival brands before this, but this was on the forefront. A few weeks after the Carnival Miracle cruise, they received a letter saying, quote, "Following a review of your recent interactions with us, we believe that you have both clearly demonstrated that we cannot offer the holiday that you are looking for. It is thus no longer appropriate for you to travel with us or any of the Carnival Group brands. The ban is set to last for 5 years. On the Sail Away magazine website, the 2 influencers stated that they don't think the cabin review was a factor in the decision. What was strange about the letter is that it was specifically signed by someone from P&O. It then turns out that they are not banned from all Carnival brands, just Cunard, P&O Cruises, and Princess Cruises, meaning they can still go on Carnival Cruise Line. Obviously, every story is two-sided, but Carnival Corporation has refused to make any public statement. Later in April of 2025, a massive brawl broke out after a cruise in the luggage pickup area. This happened after a week-long cruise on the Carnival Jubilee. Not many details have been shared about the start of the fight, But Tony from Lolita Loca said someone messaged him that it started after a dispute on the sports court. Supposedly, security had to break up multiple fights during that week, but this was the grand finale. 24 people in total got placed on Carnival's Do Not Sail list. They said that the people they banned are free to go cruise somewhere else, which is a bit concerning. But that's a topic for another day. The next way people got banned from cruise ships has happened multiple times in the last few years, and that is smuggling alcohol on board. It is very much against cruise line policy to bring your own alcoholic drinks on board. Cruise lines already need to heavily monitor passengers they serve alcohol to, but if guests bring their own, it is out of their control. Of course, there could be some monetary aspect tied to it, but in case anything happens, it's important that that passenger's alcohol consumption is tracked. The strangest part about this offense is that oftentimes it is a self-report. In one instance, a TikTok user posted herself smuggling alcohol on board and included the hashtag Carnival Cruise. Now, from what I can see, Carnival is the only cruise line that has publicly banned passengers for doing this, but I would be shocked if passengers haven't been banned for this on other cruise lines. The final example of a cruiser being banned happened in April of 2025, once again, on Carnival. In this instance, the passenger damaged an arcade machine and got into a physical altercation. In any other circumstance, this is an obvious ban. So many passengers get banned for fights that I didn't bother to include each individual one in this video. Property damage and physical altercations are serious grounds for banning. So, what makes this bizarre as promised? What makes this instance unique is that the banned passenger is a 9-year-old. On night 1 of 7, the boy went around the ship alone, wreaking havoc. After all this happened, the mother of the boy is alerted by the ship authorities that all this occurred, and that she needs to stay with the kid at all times. On the last day of the cruise, the mother is informed that the child is banned for life. Online, this did cause some debate over whether it is fair to punish someone for life over things they did when they were 9 years old, but Carnival is showing here that they have zero tolerance for disruptive behavior like this, and they do want to create a stable environment on their ships. To close out, there are many occurrences of guests getting banned, but when you consider how many guests cruise every week across the world, it is a fraction of a percent that get banned. The closest I ever saw a passenger get banned is when someone began to argue with the captain about the temperature not being displayed on the navigation channel. What do you think? Are any of these harsh? Are there any I missed? Have you seen someone get banned? Have you yourself gotten banned? In case you missed the first edition of Ways Cruisers Got Banned, a link will be in the description below. Thank you all for watching. This was Embarkation Day, and I wish you smooth sailing.